What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Northern Light 777 with this long overdue part 2 of my official Motherload pickup. As y'all saw, I showed you part 1 of that, I broke down the Nintendo games. This is part 2 of my Motherload pickup. Boxed Super Nintendo goodness, it's a lot of good stuff here. And I'm show you everything, and I'm gonna get into the story of how I acquired the whole lot, what I paid for the lot, and the interesting story behind it. Alright, so let me get this started. We got Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally, complete, great condition. Clay Fighter, complete, great condition. Price tag here, Electronics Boutique, I don't know if you can see that from back in the day, which y'all know about that. Super Star Wars, complete, mint condition. We got Super Metroid here. This game is missing the manual, and the jackass cut off the proof of purchase. I don't know, maybe at the time there was something, contest or something going on where if you send in the proof of purchase you get a prize or something. But everything else is mint, no manual in that. Hole 1 Golf, everything's mint, no manual with that. Joe and Mac, mint condition. No manual with this. I might actually get this the manual from eBay if I can get it for the right price. It's a good game to have complete. Okay, we got Super Mario All-Stars here, $54.99, Electronics Boutique. And of course the box protectors you see, they didn't come with it, I just put them in there. Star Fox, complete. F-Zero, complete. Final Fight, complete. Final Fight 2. All these are basically complete, so I'm not going to say complete every time. Unless there's something missing, I'll let y'all know. Final Fantasy 3 and 2 again. But this is like brand new. The maps and everything in these are all like mint condition, And just for y'all haters that be thinking I'm selling wolf tickets, here's the Final Fantasy 2 and 3 right there that I already had. This is now better condition. But those are spoken for. I took the games out, but the box and maps was all there, and that I already had, and it's already spoken for. Sorry, people. Contra 3. Super Castlevania 4. 7th Saga. Electronics Boutique. I got an interesting story I'm going to tell you at the end that it's about this game. ActRaiser. Now this game here was one of the first Super Nintendo games I had as, growing up. So I was really happy to get this, to have this game back again. I had this game growing up. This is like one of the first Super Nintendo games I had. Ultima, the Black Gate. And this is like the maps and everything are mint in that. Same thing with this. Paladin's Quest. Now, let me go to this. I'm sorry, I should have started off with this. This is the Capcom Street Fighter stick, I think that is, for Super Nintendo. It's pretty cool. Sorry I didn't start that off with that. Alright, let me get back into the games now. Ultima, the False Prophet. Like I said, this guy was a hardcore collector. I don't think he played this as much, because everything is like in basically near mint condition. From the games, to the boxes, to the insides. Another Electronics Boutique special. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Bubsy. Draken. Legend of Mystical Ninja. This is a cool game. I was happy to find that. I remember that from back in the day. Mortal Kombat 2. Super Double Dragon. Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. Sim City. Super Smash TV. This is a really great game. I like there's like a poster in here too. All these games have like, well, not all of them, but a lot of them have like posters, like all the inserts and everything. I mean, it's amazing. This game is an amazing game. Wanderers from the Wise 3, I guess. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Turtles in Time. This got like a poster in it too. This is a very great game. And a lot of these games I already had, so they were loose cots, and they're basically all gone. I flipped them all basically, so I get this lot for free and made some money. So basically, I got this lot and I made some money. Street Fighter 2, classic game, of course. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, all the maps, everything are in there. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Super Mario Kart. Okay, I'm gonna go back over to this way for a little bit. There was 2 controllers. There was no Super Nintendo here, but there's 2 controllers. Super Mario World. Super Nintendo manual. Super Mario World manual. Okay, now I'm gonna show you. Oh, hold on. Let me go. I still got a few more games. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Everything is in here. There's like maps in here. There's like even something else that I never seen with this game before. Some sort of little insert. Everything is in like new condition. Lufia, the Fortress of Doom. Everything in like new condition. Alright, now I want to show you some of the boxes that I broke open. You know, it took too long for me to break all these things open and show you everything. So I'm just going to show you some of the games that I actually broke open. And all the games basically look like this. You know, they just happen to be in box today. I took these out. It's a Soul Blazer right here. See how mint this thing looks? Here's like a poster for Soul Blazer. Like new condition. Manual. Like new condition. And the game, of course, like new condition. Alright, next we got Secret of Mana. Here's the map here, like good condition. Manual, like new condition. Box, like new condition. Up, some more inserts that came out. No big deal. And the game, like new condition. And the final gem in this lot for Super Nintendo games, Chrono Trigger. Blam! Mint condition box. These games look like they just barely came out of the plastic. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I'm truly humbled that I found this. It's the game right here in the wrap. It's 2 different maps here. I'm not going to open them up, but everything's fresh, like just minty fresh. It's unbelievable. Another map here, Chrono Trigger. And of course, the manual. This game, complete in this condition, goes for like $150 to $200 on eBay, easily, all day. Okay, now I'm gonna show y'all something. Actually, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna show you something first, okay? I'm gonna show you some receipts here. Like this guy had like receipts in the game still. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but these are like receipts from like Electronics Boutique, and it's, you know, pretty cool part of the story here. You know, let me just go through some of these. Here's Electronics Boutique for Castlevania 4, $57.99. I know y'all can't see it. I'm just going through some of these receipts. I'm not going to go through all of them. Walden Books, and we have, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Electronics Boutique, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, $73.99. Final Fight 2, $64.99. Wow. You know, and these are like all different games here. I think there was a Chrono Trigger in here too somewhere. It was like $70. It was an expensive Super Nintendo game. I didn't have it growing up. Because growing up, I'm still not really an RPG guy. They're just collectible games. That's why I like them for Super Nintendo. I'm really a platform guy. I don't really mess with RPGs too much, but they're very collectible. So that's why growing up, I didn't have too many RPGs. It wasn't my thing. So these are like a lot of receipts here, basically. These were like inside the boxes, basically. Electronics Boutique. I think one was Toys R Us. All these classic places that are no longer around. It's like an amazing part to the story, basically. Okay, and this is the guy that sold me this. This is not the actual owner, but the guy that sold me the games had like wrote down everything in there. Like whether they came with posters, manuals, blah blah blah. Nintendo, Super Nintendo. It was basically 66 games altogether. 24 Nintendo, 42 Super Nintendo. There's no prices here, but you know, he's got like my number there and stuff and everything. You know, he's a real cool guy. So okay, let me get into, now that I've showed you everything and I think I've explained pretty much some stuff, let me tell you how I acquire these games. I had an ad on Craigslist. Guy hits me up. He's telling me all these games he has, Nintendo, Super Nintendo. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta get this, you know what I mean? So he's like, make me an offer, you know? And I hate when people just say, make me an offer, make me an offer. So of course, I'm gonna start low. I was like, I can do 150. So he got a little mad. He's like, oh no, you know what? I'm just gonna sell these somewhere else, or I'm just gonna sell them on eBay. I was like, that's all I was like, oh no, you know, I mean, what were you looking to get, you know? Because I wasn't gonna let this slip away. So he was like, well, I paid 200 from him, you know. Some guy was cleaning out his apartment, sold him, blah blah blah, for 200, you know. I'll let him go for 350, you know. Tomorrow we can meet up. You can come look at him, no pressure, you know, if you want to buy it, you know. I was like, all right, that sounds good. So the guy's from Boston, you know. It's like 20 minutes from me, so I met up with him basically like halfway, like, you know, he came from Boston, I came from the City of Champions, met him up at the South Shore Mall the next day, right? And when I saw these things, he wasn't lying, because when he described these on the phone, he said they all look brand new basically. And the guy collects coins and stuff like that, coins and stamps and stuff like that. And he just knew what he had basically because he had a smartphone. He kind of knew what he had. He didn't know completely because he would have never gave me the price if he like sat there. He just looked up like some things, but he didn't know completely what he had because I never would have got the price that I got it for. So basically, I meet up with him the next day, and I wanted to try to get them. I'm giving the story away a little bit. I wanted to get everything for 300, but I had more than 300 with me. So I was like, oh, I only got 300. Can you do it? He's like, oh, you know, I said 350. This is good stuff. You know, I would have sold them on eBay, but I don't want to ship them with the boxes, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, man, you're killing me. Can you meet me halfway? Can you do like 320? It's like, no, I mean, I'll tell you what. I can do 340, you know, and that's it. Otherwise, I'm going to go take these. Because I knew, you know, if he had left me, he was going to go somewhere and someone was going to snatch him up right away. He said he was going to go to a flea market or something. I had to take it. So once he said 340, I was like, all right, it's a deal. You know, I shook his hand. I wasn't going to argue. So basically, I got all the Super Nintendo games you see here and the Nintendo games that you saw in Part 1. I got them all for 340, and I appraised everything. Like, according to eBay, I got basically like $3,000 worth of stuff for 340. And a lot of these games I already had loose. So basically, I sold them all off, and I made money too. So basically, I got paid, and I got this collection. I know, I got to be more humble, but I'm sorry. I think I really came up here. Now, this is where the story gets interesting here, okay? The guy, like on a lot of these games, had carved the back his name, Eric Snyder. I was like, okay, who's this Eric Snyder guy, right? So I'm like, okay, obviously the guy in Boston who originally owned him, his name's Eric Snyder. In the 7th Saga, there's this thing here that says Impressions, right? And it has all his information here, like, and this game came out like 93, and it says he's 18. At the time, he was living in New York. There's a phone number here, too. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's probably not there, but maybe his family still lives there, you know, but I doubt it. So anyways, the guy is from New York, Painted Post, New York, or his family's from there. I called this number on here, and his mother's like, oh, yeah, you know, he moved to Boston. He's in medical school, or was in medical school, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, she was real cool about it, because, you know, I felt kind of strange calling. She's like, oh, okay, you know, yeah, you know, he took all that stuff with him. If you want his number, I can give it to you. So she gave me his number, and I called the number. He's out in Boston. He was in medical school, or is in medical school. But sadly, I've called twice. One time I left a message, and the guy hasn't called back, so I don't really like to blow up people's numbers like that. But the guy is originally from New York, is in Boston now for medical school, or was in medical school, took the collection with him. And I'm thinking, the guy, if he's a doctor or in medical school, he probably doesn't have time for these, you know? So he's probably like studying hard or working as a doctor, and he's probably like, you know, F that, you know, I don't have room or time for these games. So he sold them off for 200 to the guy who didn't even collect, and the guy made 140 off me. But it's all good, you know. Everybody's happy in this situation, you know. So yeah, so just thought I'd tell you all that story. It was very interesting that I was able to track the original owner's phone number. Unfortunately, he did not get back to me. But yeah, folks, I got everything for 340. All the Nintendo games you saw in Part 1. And all these Super Nintendo games that you see here in part 2 of the video. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm trying to figure if there's anything that I haven't told y'all, but I think I did. So, you know, it's like now the standards are real high, you know. That's the thing, you know what really sucks about finding like stuff like this? It's like it's hard to live up to again. It's like how am I like now that people are calling me with stuff like, and it's just like you know, it's gonna be hard to duplicate a pickup like this, but I'm very happy and I hope y'all enjoy this. I'm hoping this guy actually calls me back that own these games. You know, I want to see if pick his brain a little bit, you know, see if he got some more stuff he didn't sell or whatever. Just thought it was an interesting story how this guy moved from New York, came to Boston, is in medical school, whatever, decided he wanted to sell off his games. And, you know, I got a hold of him, you know, through a middleman. So, alright, y'all. Hit me up with some comments, show me some love, you know, any questions, you know, feel free to ask. And I will talk to y'all next time. Peace.